Welcome back to Gearwire.com. I'm Bill Holland, and this is Crosstalk number 37. And I'm here with Drew Craig.
Hello.
Jazz master extraordinaire. He's going to play some jazz. And Britton Weatherald, who is concerned that the kids don't understand the jazz.
Yeah, they don't. They listen to that hip and that hopping. Do you want me to put on some sunglasses?
You totally should.
Do you want me to just start?
Do you have sunglasses
Do you want me to start talking about cultural epitaphs? Do you want me to, like, critique a whole society and generation in one fell swoop? Because I'm talking about who? Who am I talking about? Bill Cosby.
Are we keeping that?
Sure.
Okay, just checking. So anyway, Britton Weatherald, man of the hour. We are talking about the demo of the JamMan by Digitech.
Yes, I was talking about how I've made lots of money with that pedal.
How do you make lots of money with that pedal? Does it launder for you?
I'll tell you, in these days, live music just isn't the same as it was back in the day. Everybody sits on their ass watching TV at night instead of going out and supporting live music, and you're getting more and more and more and more and more of that. So, as a performer, I've had to take drastic measures to get paid.
You understand the irony of saying that?
One thing.
Money it was.
One thing I've done is started to use a loop pedal to back myself up, as opposed to paying another guitar player. And it's not as
You're replacing musicians with robots. It's okay.
Hey,
There's actually a really fascinating point that a writer once made about the actual downsizing of the musician.
What's that?
Like the actual downsizing, like ever since bands have kept on getting smaller and smaller since the 1930s. It used to be that you had to travel around with 20 musicians, then it went down to 5 musicians, then it went down to 3 musicians.
Now it's me with
and
a laptop.
And now it's the me generation.
Yeah.
The I generation.
The I.
All about the money, man. But anyway.
That's why nobody's making it in the music business.
Except for jingle writers.
This will help you. I mean, my application for this pedal has just been backing myself up so I can make a lot more money on a gig. That's the bottom line. If I go out, if I drive to a gig, set up my equipment, I want to be able to make at least $50 to $100 per set.
Right.
You know what I mean? With 3 musicians at a smaller venue, it's just not going to happen. Now, I play a lot of other gigs that are professional, where you're being, you're playing for like an office party or something like that, where their budget is $600-700. No problem. I'll get a jazz quartet, and do the whole thing, and that'll be a lot of fun. It'll sound better. But I mean, if somebody's only willing to pay me $100 a set, then they're going to get me with a recording.
Well, yeah, they're going to get $100. What do you get for $100?
They're going to get what they paid for. You know what I mean? If money wasn't an issue, if I was getting paid tons of money, I would hire the proper musicians to get it done right.
That's the pay-for-play attitude, man.
You gotta pay for good entertainment.
Well, at least it's not L.A.
More and more people don't understand what it's actually worth.
Well, I mean, the thing is that you're also taking 2 different. You got to kind of divide out the whole outlook. Because what you're talking about is you play standards.
Jazz standards.
You're basically the jazz.
I'm not playing my creative vision.
Yeah. You're not going to be improvising. You're not going off in any tangent.
Well, I'm improvising like nobody's business, but I'm not really necessarily doing my creative vision in music.
You're doing what they call.
I'm performing.
Yeah, you're the jazz, jazz standards and stuff like that. For all you guys don't know, it's basically the equivalent of a cover band, but with more open.
Exactly.
Right, interpretation.
Yeah.
People aren't going to slaughter you because you played a crappy version of Smoke on the Water.
No, but they will slaughter you if you do mess up in Giant Steps.
Well,
oh yeah.
Yeah, then they're going to come on stage and take your guitar
away from you. But that's kind of understandable.
Giant Steps is hard to play. Right?
Yeah, it is. It's a very challenging tune.
I'm referencing John Coltrane's Paramount song.
I would generally play simpler jazz standards, stuff that people will appreciate a little bit more. Because when I'm performing, I'm not playing for myself. I'm playing for the people who are paying me, and I'm playing for the people that are listening to me. And that's a very important concept here. Don't think that what I'm playing today here is my artistic vision by any means. It's how I make money.
Yeah, but if you're playing your artistic vision, you're kind of taking whatever you can get. That $100 minimum turns into.
Well, it's like you ever
really.
DJ at a wedding?
That's true.
Yeah.
It's the same equivalent, I think, of what I'm doing.
YMCA and Celebration every time.
It's a jobbing gig.
Yeah.
It's just a job.
You make good money, though. I don't make money.
You go to your 9 to 5 and you get your benefits and all that. This is the same sort of thing. I just go to pay my dues, get paid, and leave.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
But I just wanted to kind of clarify that because I know
That's
a lot
good.
of people have that misconception that then you're doing something that it's just I do want a certain amount of money per gig for certain things, but there's other things that I don't expect any money for. when I'm doing folk sets, I do actually, you know, sometimes expect money depending on venue, place, stuff like that.
Who the promoter is,
Yeah.
if you actually like them.
Yeah.
When I was doing experimental music, I never got paid. And I was happy with that because I understood that
You were just doing
I was doing my creative vision, and you know, most people aren't willing to pay for a lot of noise. Realistically, is how most people would look at it.
Art galleries are it, and then you have to hope, you know, they have the grant to pay for it.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I got paid for a lot of experimental gigs that I probably shouldn't have gotten paid
Well,
for.
see, but that's the mind's eye, man. I
Yeah.
mean, like people, I mean, who knows why certain bands make it, certain bands don't. It's not for us to decide. But like, you know, I just kind of wanted to throw the clarification out
That's
there.
great.
Because people,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people who browse our website are either, or some are working musicians, which, you know, they do stuff
Right.
like that. Other guys are like the starving artists who are trying to figure out, you know, to see their vision through. And I think there's a big wall divide between a lot of them because there's just like, there's not a good understanding.
And that's the good part of this show, is just exploring the different perspectives. Hence our backgrounds and what we're trying to bring, different
Right.
perspectives to the show. And that's a very important one. Making a living.
So anyway, we're going to demo your pedal a little bit here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about some gear that I started using recently, the BCR 2000 rotary controller from Behringer, which I use with Ableton, and a recent alternative I found to in-ears, which are far less, they're much more inexpensive, and they work just the same way. But for right now, this has been Crosstalk number 37, Drew Craig,
Thanks.
Britton Weatherald, and I'm Bill Holland, and we'll be back on Gearwire with more in a little bit.